Most equivocated when asked to comment on Billie Jean King's call for the tournament's second court, named after court, to be boycotted or renamed. The Margaret Court conundrum remains the effluent in the room at this Australian Open, and it exercised the nimble verbal skills of most of the players 2 days before a ball was due to be struck. Mostly they equivocated when asked to comment on Billie Jean King's honourable and reasonable suggestion that the tournament's second court, named after Australia's finest ever player, whose 24 career majors remain one win clear of the absent champion, Serena Williams, be either boycotted, renamed, or both. The 74-year-old West Australian, now a pastor, has never backed away from her repeated assertions that gays and lesbians are akin to Hitler and the communists and devils who are after our young ones. She said last week she would not attend this year's tournament. Billie Jean King leaves Australian Open organisers reeling over new controversy. Read more. The sexual orientation of players on the women's tour has been the stuff of rumour and innuendo for a long time. King, who lost to Court here in the 1969 final and whose extraordinary life is the subject of a film, Battle of the Sexes, did not shy away from defending the LGBT community when she declared, "We're all God's children." If she were playing today, she added, she would refuse to appear on Margaret Court Arena. Johanna Konta, one of the tour's more thoughtful players, said ahead of her first match on Tuesday against Madison Bringle, "Wherever I'm scheduled, that's out of my control. With respect to the controversy that's surrounding that, I don't agree with what Margaret Court said. However, she's entitled to her own opinion." Asked if Court's name should be removed, as is being widely debated, she said, "It's their decision. I believe it's unfortunate that this whole thing has even occurred, because it does overshadow why her name is on the court. It's not because of her beliefs. It's because of her achievements in the sport. It's unfortunate it's kind of meshed together when they're actually quite separate." She added, "Most of us, if not all of us, once the schedule is out, we're going out there to play, regardless of what court we're on. It's not nice to be answering these sorts of questions in the press. It's not really what this tournament is about. It's not what these sorts of sporting events are about. They're about equality. They're about showcasing men and women. Wheelchair tennis. Kind of celebrating tennis in that way." Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Johanna Konta during a press conference in Melbourne on Saturday. Photograph. Dita Alankara, AP. It was the most considered response of the day. The US Open champion, Sloane Stephens, a feisty character, said, "I respect what Billie Jean said, but it's up to the tournament. Whether I say yes or no, it's still not going to be up to me. I respect all of my fellow players, colleagues, their lifestyles. I don't think there should be hate towards anyone." Caroline Wozniacki, who watched Battle of the Sexes on her flight from New Zealand this week, would not be drawn, however, saying, "I just love this tournament. I'll play on any court that they schedule me on. I'm just happy to be here." Simona Halep, who enters a slam as world number 1 for the first time, echoed the consensus view. "I respect everyone. Everyone does what they want. I'm not commentating about this. Everyone owns their lives. I will play anywhere I am scheduled. The tournament decides these things. It has nothing to do with me. If I would be scheduled on Margaret Court, I will play on Margaret Court." Billie Jean King. Be ahead of your time, that's what you have to do. Read more. The Wimbledon champion Garbine Muguruza also flat-batted, "I will play wherever they put me. I didn't even think about it." Among the men, the response was similar. Stan Wawrinka said, "At the end of the day, the comments Court made were wrong, for sure, but, as a player, you don't decide which court you're going to play. It's not really an option." Grigor Dimitrov agreed, "There's no room for discrimination in our sport. The third seed said, "But I'm always appreciative of any court they put me to play on. Simple as that. I'm very excited to play on court 15 or Hisense. Or whatever. I've been there, done that." Nick Kyrgios, Australia's best hope for success in the men's draw, said, "You've got to take it just as how she was as a tennis player. That's why the court was originally named after her. Because of her tennis. What she was really good at. I guess for me, that's what I will do. I'll try to block out the other stuff. Obviously, definitely I am okay with same-sex marriage, all that sort of stuff.